Okay, so this is going to be the first part of the diatonic scales. Okay, and the reason why I've been putting off the diatonics for so long is because there's a lot to it. Um, the pentatonics it's fairly easy. Okay, we're only dealing with 5 notes and 5 pentatonic shapes. Um, and I know a lot of people. You start learning, that there's 5 major pentatonic shapes and 5 minor pentatonic shapes. And as I showed you, there's just 5 pentatonic shapes. What differs is your root note. Okay? So take any particular shape. If your root note is A, well, then that's your A minor. If it's C, it's the C major. Same scale, same pentatonic shapes, right? So I wanted you to see that and I wanted you to understand that. Because otherwise, now you have to memorize like 10 pentatonic shapes, right? Which is exhausting. You don't want to do that. You just need to know 5. And I broke it down for you so you can actually manage how you learn these. And not just learn, but how you apply it, okay? So even if, like, I don't know, maybe you don't use shape number 3 very often, but on the fly, you really needed to utilize that shape. Maybe you're playing with other musicians or whatever. So I taught you like the little mnemonic, if you will, or the pattern in order to create that shape, right? And we're going to apply some of those patterns to the diatonic scales. Now, the diatonic scales are going to have all 7 notes. So we're going to stick with C, the key of C. And the reason why we're going to stick with the key of C is because there's no sharps or flats. So that's kind of like your cornerstone, if you will. In fact, that's how I taught the pentatonics to you, utilizing the key of C and the key of A minor. That way you don't have to worry about sharps and flats. And you can start to do some of the stuff in your head that way, okay? So I say there's more to the diatonics, and there are. When I was taught the diatonic scales, your major scale, I was shown 5 shapes. And there are 5 shapes, and you're going to see in a little bit how those 5 shapes correspond to the pentatonic shapes. With the diatonics, you can actually create 2 more shapes. So in total, there's 7 diatonic forms that you may come across. You only need the 5, but I'm going to show you eventually all 7. And this is not going to be a one long 10-hour video. This is going to have to get broken up because there's going to be a lot to it. And I'm going to break it down and make it as simple as possible to get these shapes under your fingertips, okay? And again, this really isn't musical. This is just telling you where to put your fingers and how to find the notes on the fretboard, okay? So that's it, okay? Okay, when we were working with the pentatonic shapes, we were taking 5 notes from the major scale. And the best way I've heard this described, as far as major scales and minor scales and whatnot, is this. When we look at the definition of major and minor, we're not looking at how we consider major to be big and minor to be small. That's not really the case, okay? You got to think of the major scale as major meaning important and minor meaning less important, okay? So the major scale is major important, and that's why it's called the major scale. The minor scale isn't as much, okay? And you can also think of it as the major scale as being the parent scale. And then the minor scale, like a minor child. It's a child, a minor child to the parent. They're related. Same notes. That's what relates them, okay? So in the key of C is the major scale. That's the important scale. The minor scale, the relative minor, same family, relative, right? That is the minor scale is A. A minor is the relative, that child scale to the C parent major scale. See the relationship? Okay? And that's something that you got to kind of iron out in your thinking, and you got to understand that and why it's such and why it's called that in music. Okay? So when we're talking about the pentatonics, we were taking 5 notes from the major scale. And they weren't random notes. So for the C major pentatonic scale, the C major scale is going to have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the octave. Well, what we were doing is we were removing 2 of the notes. So for C major, we were getting rid of the 3rd note and the 6th note. Right? So for C major, we'd have C, D, F, G, and B. That was the C major pentatonic scale. For the A minor pentatonic scale, the relative minor, we got rid of the notes, the 4th note and the 7th note out of that scale. Okay? Which left us with A, C, D, E, and G. Okay? So if you take and write on a piece of paper, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? And then you just count from left to right. 4 and 7, that was what we took out to make it a minor. And 3 and 6, that's what we took out to make it the major pentatonic. Okay? So, with that being said, now with the diatonic scales, we're going to add those other notes. Okay, whatever we dropped from the minor or the major scale, we're going to add back in. So we're back to using the full 7 notes. So, let's go back and we're going to quickly review pentatonic shape 4. And we're going to do it in the open position. This one video lesson is only going to deal with the open position. Okay? And the handout I'm giving you is you'll see why when you're looking at the handout. But let's look at pentatonic shape 4. So, it's open, 3, open, 3, open, 2, open, 2, 1, 3, open, 3. Those are the frets. Okay? When I'm talking about counting the fingers, I am assigning 1 fret per finger, 1 finger per fret, and then the 1 is the open, okay? Which would be the index finger. So it would be 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4. Does that make sense? I'm talking about my fingers now, okay? Now, what did we say? We said that the tonic, your root note, for A minor, these 1/4s, 1, 4, 1, 4, your root notes are going to be on that second, the second 1, 4, okay? Right? So here, in this case, for A minor, it's up here, it's the open, right? The open string, open A, or it's the 1. And here, that's the C note, that would be the major, right? So remember, minor, major, minor, major. And we found the roots on that second 1/4 string. Okay? We were always going to have 1, 4, 1, 4 next to each other. And then we had the 3 sets of 1/3s, right? So you have an interval of 1.5 steps, 1.5 steps, and then you run into 3 strings that have just whole steps, right? And then it repeats. Well, we're going to add these notes, okay? And the same thing's going to apply. Now that, I want you to see that pentatonic scale, okay? And hopefully you're familiar with it by now. Right? Let's go ahead and add the extra notes. So instead of doing 1, 4 on the 6th string, we're going to do 1, 2, 4. Open. 1st fret, 3rd fret. Don't let this confuse you, okay? Stick with the fingering. Okay? So, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger. The notes are E, F, G. Next string, the A string. And it's going to be 1, 3, 4. Talking the fingers again, remember? 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. A, B, C. Move over to the 4th string. It's open D, right? So the 1st finger. Think of that as an actual fret. Extend, visualize the neck of the guitar going past the nut infinitely, okay? So that's a fret. Even though we can't hand it, we can't hear it, we can't play it. Visualize it, okay? A lot of this is visualization, which is great because it helps strengthen, your focus in your mind, right? So the D string, it's going to be 1, 3, 4. D, skip a fret, then E, F. 1, 3, 4. Okay? Over to the G string. This is where it changes up a bit. There's only 2 notes on this string. G, open G. 1, 3. 1, 3. G, A. Get on to the 2nd string. This is the screwy string, remember? This string, this 2nd string, is tuned out of whack than the rest of the guitar, right? So this is where you're really going to start to notice it. And you're going to start to see why, okay? The open 2nd string is the B string. So the open 3rd string was G and then A. Well, now we're going to go up to B on the 2nd string. B, C. That's the 2nd fret, 1st fret, but that's the C. So it's going to be 1, 2, 4. That's D. B, C, D, B, C, D. D, C, B. Forget the C sharp there. So we left off on D of the 2nd string. Now we're going to get on to the 1st string. Open, E. 1st fret, F. E, F, G. 1, 2, 4. This 1, 2, 4, if you wrap around back over here to the 1st string, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay? You see that? Those are all the notes in the C major scale. It is C through G. No sharps, no flats. We have just hit them all, okay? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. When we're playing here in the open strings, we're starting on the low string, on the sixth string, with E. So it's E, F, G, A, B, C. You know, we're 5 notes in before we actually get to the root, okay? But these are the notes. We're just playing, you know, the order's a little jumbled up. But we're going to sort through that, okay? And the reason why we're going to sort through it, and it's going to make sense to you, is because you should be already familiar with this pentatonic shape in the open position here. This pentatonic shape 4. Right? We're adding in the next set of notes. I said at the beginning, it really is important to learn every note on the fretboard, okay? At the very least, learn your C scale, your whole notes on the fretboard, okay? With no sharps or flats. Once you know, hey, this is A, well, I can either sharp it, make it A sharp, or make it A flat if I wanted to. Once I realize that that's where I go to find my A note. At the very least, you gotta know these notes, because all your cowboy chords are gonna sit here, okay? So it's very important to learn the fretboard, and I'm trying to teach you how to learn the fretboard, how to memorize the fretboard, and to understand the fretboard so you can go forward and make music from it. But first you have to understand the hows and the whys, if you will. Okay, so practice saying the notes out loud, okay? You should already know the strings. You should already know from low to high, it's E, A, D, G, B, E, right? Those are the strings in standard tuning. You know, this is all in standard tuning, and we're just going to constantly keep dealing with the key of C, okay? Because it's a great reference point. You know, I mean, if we want to fought around with the key of G, now we're going to deal with an F sharp. So I don't want any sharps or flats. So we're going to stay with that key of C, make it simple. Learn the notes on the first 3 frets. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Say them out loud as many times as it takes to memorize them, if you don't already know them. Okay? Very important. Now we have all 7 notes, the whole diatonic scale sitting here, right? That's what we were playing for the pentatonic, right? We were doing. Now we can fill in the missing notes. Make sense? Open E, F, G, open A, B, C, open D, E, F, open G, A, open B, C, D, open E, F, G. Okay? Again, just like our root notes were this 1, 4, 1, 4, that second 1, 4 in the pentatonic patterns, okay? We had minor, so A minor, right? Or major on the pinky, C major. Same thing applies to this pattern, okay, to this diatonic. So we have, if we want to play A minor, it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. That's A minor. Now, C major. we're going to start on the C. We're going to start here. 3rd fret of the 5th string. That's C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's the C major. So we're looking at C major, C minor, all sitting here. If you think back, it's all within shape 4, pentatonic shape 4, okay? And in fact, you can consider this diatonic shape 4 if you'd like, because the remaining pentatonic shapes are going to fill up just like this one, okay? And it's the quickest and easiest way to learn your pentatonic shapes. Now, there's a couple of rules for your diatonics, and we're going to get into that. Okay, so just as with the pentatonics, we had 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. The same kind of pattern exists in the diatonic form. The way it works with the diatonics is we're going to have a 1, 2, 4. You're always going to have 2 1 2 4s next to strings, okay, next to each other. 1 2 4 1 2 4, followed by 2 1 3 4s. In the next string is always going to be a 2-note string, and it goes back to the 1 4s. Make sense? Probably not. You're going to start to see it when we're all done with these diatonic forms, though. Okay? So let's come down here to A minor at the 5th fret, the diatonic scale. You'll see it here a little easier. So A minor, right? So we're starting on the index finger. 1 3 4, A B C. 5th string. D E E F, D E F. 1 3 4. A B C. 1 3 4. D E F. 1 3 4. Now it's the two notes. G A. 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3. Okay, the 1 3 4 grouping follows the 1 2 4 grouping. We haven't gotten to that yet because we've only gone these 3 strings. Okay, so we get to the 4th string. That's A, right? 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3. That's the 2. Now we're going to start over on the 3rd string. B C D. 1 2 4. Now we're on the B string, right? So what are we going to do? Go up a half a step. So starting on the 7th fret of the 5th string, 4th string, A, right? A, 3rd string, 4th fret, B, C, D, at the 7th fret, 3rd string. You know, we're not going to go here. We're going to slide up one because we have to shift because it's on the B string. Always got to shift that B string. E, F, G. Right? So that's 1 3 4 1 3 4. Now it starts. Now it goes to 1 2. 1 3 4 1 3 4. So 1 2 1 2 4 1 3 4. Okay? That's the pattern. You're going to have 1 2 4, 1 2 4, 1 3 4, 1 3 4, and then a 1 and a 3. Sometimes it's a 2 and a 4. Okay? We'll get to that in another video. And then the pattern repeats. 1 2 4, 1 2 4, 1 3 4, 1 3 4, 2 notes, and then it repeats. Constantly repeating. If we had an infinite fretboard going this way, it would continue to repeat. Also this way. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And this A minor, well, I'm back on A. The same rules apply from the pentatonics. Okay? I can continue this way. Nope. So, okay, so when we're extending this coming up the fretboard, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? We're back to the root note. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. You got to kind of shift up to get back to B. A whole step from the 10th to the 12th fret on the second string. That's B, C, D, E. It's not quite as symmetric as the pentatonics are. Okay? So you got to be aware of that. And we'll tackle that later. I just want you to see that the same concepts that I showed you with the pentatonics are applicable to the diatonic scales. Okay? Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about here is you should know the notes here, first 3 frets. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. Okay? You should be real comfortable with the pentatonic shape here. Okay? You should be able to find your root note. A minor, C major. A minor, C major. Okay? You should be able to spot them. You should be able to fill in your notes here. So we're adding the F, E, F, G, A, B, C. We're adding that B note in to complete the full diatonic scale. All of your cowboy chords are sitting right here. This diatonic scale that I just showed you encompasses all of the cowboy chords. All of your open chords are here. Okay, the diatonic scale hits every note in every chord. So let's take a look at that. We have your open C chord, right? C, E, G, C. Let's go up and down that diatonic scale. C, E, G. Every note in that triad is in that scale. Now you can see how the chord comes from that diatonic scale. So that's C. What's the next one? In any given key, you're going to have 3 major chords, 3 minor chords. Okay? Your 1, 4, and 5 are your major chords. Your 2, 3, and 6 are the minor chords. So if C is the tonic, C is the 1 chord, C major. 2 chord is the D. 2, 3, and 6 are minor, so it's going to be D minor, right? That's the open D minor chord, the cowboy chord for D minor. Well, every one of these notes is in that scale. I'm trying to emphasize the notes of the chord. Next one's E minor, right? Open E, 2nd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, 4th string. And then the open D, right? E minor. All those notes are in that diatonic scale. F. You can play it here on the top strings, or you can play it here. All the notes of the F chord, F, A, C, they're all coming from that diatonic scale that's sitting right here. G, same thing. Every note in that G chord is right here in those 3 frets in that diatonic scale, that C diatonic scale, C major. G, so the next one is A, right? So A minor.